What's up? How to fix an anxious-avoidant relationship dynamic, and how do you know when to leave? I'll cover that in this video. Okay, first of all, anxious-avoidant, remember, I've covered this, like why anxious-avoidant people it's hard to end those relationships. Well, how do we fix the relationship and make it better? How do we get to a secure place where we both feel, safe and like, hey, we can do this? Well, the very first thing you got to do is accept the view. You have to understand attachment science and basic relationship psychology. Attachment science dictates that the anxious partner and the avoidant partner are a great fit. They just grew up in families laid down by 18 years of transmission, basically, every day, all day, of how we do relationships. The anxious person got connection some of the time and silence some of the time. That creates anxious ambivalent attachment style. The avoidant partner grew up in a family where relationships, we don't work things out. Go to your room, go outside, go into sports, go into books, and just figure it out on your own. So avoidant people became very independent. Anxious people are more dependent because they're like, it kind of works. Like if I just try hard enough and talk in the right way, I'll get the connection back, because sometimes that was their experience. And avoidant people are like, man, when this gets hard, I'm out. Peace out. I'm done. How do you fix this? Well, you got to start with the view that it's normal and it's okay to have this dynamic, and it may never change. What changes is both of your abilities to work with your attachment style and this dynamic of anxiety and avoidance. All you do is get smarter and better and more effective at working through that dynamic. Please do not believe any relationship expert that tells you when you have an avoidant partner, you need to leave. No, avoidant people want relationships or they wouldn't be with you, right? If you're an avoidant person, you wouldn't be and crave and want to be in relationships. You don't want to be alone. Both people want to be in a relationship, believe it or not, even though the avoidant looks more like they don't. And they definitely behave like they don't want anything to do with an anxious partner at times. This is the distinguishing feature, okay, and how to know when you should leave this kind of relationship. And here's when you should leave, okay? I'll talk about that right now, and then I'll circle back how to fix this, okay? When you should leave an anxious-avoidant relationship is when one or both people don't want to work on it and don't want to become more adept at working with how your nervous systems are wired. If they're unwilling, in other words, then fire them and move on. You can't work with, and that can be an anxious partner and that can be an avoidant partner. It doesn't have to always be the avoidant partner. Sometimes anxious people don't want to go to therapy, they don't want to go to coaching, they don't want to read books, they don't want to apply themselves to get better at working with their nervous system and their partners. They don't want to do it. When someone is unwilling, get out. Because your relationship is going to be a massive headache and it's going to have a lot of heartache forever, all right? So get out of those relationships when someone is unwilling to do the work and apply themselves. So how do you fix it? You do the work and you apply yourself. You both learn about attachment science. You read my book, you read other people's books, and you learn like, oh, you're just kind of anxious and I'm kind of avoidant. And I love you, and I love you, so how do we work with this? Let's become better communicators under stress, because I notice that it only happens when we're triggered. We're fine, and as soon as we have conflict, you avoid, I get anxious. How do we deal with that dynamic? Because it's not a problem. It's not a problem. How you deal with it is the issue. And smart couples, people who get secure relationships and strong relationships over time, apply themselves and they learn to work with the inevitable dynamic of seek, avoid, right? Seek, avoid, anxious, avoid, anxious, avoid. They just learn to work with it. That's it. So you become better communicators under stress. When someone's feelings get hurt, you validate, you empathize, you always return. If you're an avoidant person, you always come back. You say, look, I need space. That's totally fine. But I'll be back in an hour. I'll be back tonight. And I care about your feelings and I want to listen to you. That's what the avoidant can say. The anxious person can say, I'm going to give you space. I know you need it. I want to get back to a good place. Thank you. Let's talk about this tonight. I'll be ready. I appreciate that you're willing to do this, and I'm here. Right? Both partners reassure each other and they come back always to work through the difficult stuff. All right, if you need help working through difficult stuff, of course, get my book, Getting to Zero, How to Work Through Conflict in Your High Stakes Relationships. It's only going to help you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for being a subscriber and a viewer and a listener here, and we'll see you in the next video.